In a world often filled with chaos and uncertainty, wouldn't it be amazing to find an inner peace that can't be shaken by external circumstances? This is the promise offered by Stoicism, an ancient philosophy that teaches us to master our emotions and live a more fulfilling life. The Stoics believed that true happiness and tranquility come from within, not from things we can't control, like other people's opinions or unexpected events. But don't worry, Stoicism isn't about suppressing your emotions or becoming an emotionless robot. Instead, it offers practical tools and techniques for navigating the ups and downs of life with greater resilience and wisdom. By understanding and applying Stoic principles, we can learn to respond to challenges with clarity, courage, and inner strength. In today's fast-paced world, it's easy to feel overwhelmed by stress, anxiety, and a constant stream of information. We're bombarded with notifications, deadlines, and pressures that can leave us feeling drained and emotionally exhausted. Stoicism provides an antidote to this modern malaise by reminding us that we have the power to choose our responses, even when we can't control what happens to us. Imagine facing a difficult situation at work or in your personal life. Instead of reacting impulsively or letting your emotions dictate your actions, Stoicism empowers you to pause, take a step back, and consider your options with a calm and rational mind. By focusing on what you can control, your thoughts, your actions, your attitude, you can transform challenges into opportunities for growth and self-improvement. Stoicism, as you might have guessed, wasn't born in a vacuum. It emerged in the bustling intellectual hub of Athens in the 3rd century BC, founded by a Phoenician merchant named Zeno of Citium. Picture this. Zeno, having lost his fortune in a shipwreck, found himself drawn to the teachings of Socrates and the Cynics, who emphasized virtue and living in accordance with nature. Intrigued by these ideas, Zeno developed his own philosophy, gathering students at a public porch called the Stoa Poikile, or painted porch. Thus, his followers became known as Stoics. From these humble beginnings, Stoicism spread like wildfire, captivating the minds of emperors, senators, and everyday people alike. Its appeal lay in its practicality, offering a clear and structured approach to navigating the challenges of life. One of the most remarkable things about Stoicism is that it wasn't confined to ivory towers or reserved for an elite few. It was a philosophy for everyone, regardless of their social standing, wealth, or profession. In fact, some of the most prominent Stoics came from humble beginnings, like Epictetus, a former slave who went on to become a renowned philosopher, teaching that true freedom comes from mastering our thoughts and desires. Even the emperor Marcus Aurelius, arguably the most famous Stoic, embraced this philosophy not as a mark of his status, but as a way to navigate the immense responsibilities and pressures of ruling a vast empire. In his personal meditations, recorded in the book now known as Meditations, Marcus Aurelius reflects on themes of duty, self-control, and finding peace amidst chaos, insights that are just as relevant today as they were centuries ago. So, what is it about Stoicism that has allowed it to endure for over 2 millennia? It's not about rigid rules or dogma, but rather a set of timeless principles that resonate deeply with the human experience. Stoicism reminds us that true happiness doesn't depend on external circumstances, but on our own inner state, our thoughts, our reactions, our choices. It encourages us to focus on what we can control, our own actions and judgments, and to accept with grace and equanimity the things we cannot. This doesn't mean becoming passive or indifferent to the world around us. Instead, Stoicism empowers us to face challenges with courage and clarity, to live in accordance with our values, and to find meaning and purpose even in the midst of adversity. At the heart of Stoicism lies a powerful concept known as the dichotomy of control. This principle, articulated by Epictetus as the foundation of his teachings, states that some things in life are within our control while others are not. The Stoics believed that much of our unhappiness stems from trying to control things that are ultimately outside our grasp. Imagine for a moment trying to control the weather. You can wish for sunshine all you want, but ultimately you have no power over the forces of nature. The same is true for many things in life, other people's opinions, unexpected events, even our own health to some extent. Trying to control these things only leads to frustration, anxiety, and a sense of powerlessness. So, if we can't control these external events, what can we do? This is where the second part of the dichotomy comes in, accepting what we cannot control. This doesn't mean resigning ourselves to a life of passivity or indifference. It's about recognizing that struggling against the inevitable is futile and ultimately counterproductive. Instead of railing against the things we cannot change, Stoicism encourages us to adopt an attitude of acceptance. This doesn't mean we have to like or approve of everything that happens, but it does mean choosing to approach these events with a sense of tranquility and equanimity. Just as a rock in a river doesn't resist the flow of water, but rather allows the water to flow around it, so too can we learn to adapt to the challenges life throws our way. Now, you might be wondering, if happiness doesn't come from external things, where does it come from? The Stoics had a clear answer to this: virtue. They believed that living a virtuous life was the sole path to true happiness and fulfillment. But what exactly did they mean by virtue? For the Stoics, virtue encompassed four key qualities: wisdom, justice, courage, and temperance. Wisdom involved seeking knowledge and understanding, striving to see the world clearly and make sound judgments. Justice meant treating others fairly and acting in accordance with moral principles. Courage entailed facing our fears and doing what is right, even when it's difficult. And temperance involved moderation and self-control, avoiding excesses and living in balance. The Stoics believed that the universe is governed by a rational and benevolent force, which they referred to as logos, or nature. They saw this force as inherently good and orderly, and they believed that humans should strive to live in harmony with it. This meant accepting our place in the grand scheme of things, recognizing that we are all part of something larger than ourselves. Living in accordance with nature also meant aligning our actions with our rational nature. As human beings, we are capable of reason and self-control, and the Stoics believed that we should use these faculties to guide our actions and make choices that are in our best interests, both individually and collectively. By living virtuously and in harmony with nature, we can find true happiness and fulfillment regardless of our external circumstances. Imagine shouldering the weight of an empire, facing constant threats from within and without all, while grappling with the complexities of human nature. This was the reality of Marcus Aurelius, Roman emperor from 161 to 180 AD. Yet amidst the turmoil of leadership, he found solace and guidance in Stoic philosophy, becoming a shining example of its transformative power. Born into a noble family, Marcus Aurelius was chosen as heir by the Emperor Antoninus Pius, who himself was a dedicated practitioner of Stoicism. Growing up in an environment steeped in Stoic ideals, Marcus developed a deep appreciation for its emphasis on virtue, duty, and self-control. He wasn't just a ruler, he was a philosopher king deeply committed to living a life guided by reason and wisdom. Section 2. Insights from Meditations. Written during his military campaigns and moments of quiet reflection, Marcus Aurelius's personal journal, now known as, offers a rare glimpse into the mind of a Stoic emperor. It's not a treatise on abstract philosophical concepts, but a collection of personal reflections, affirmations, and reminders to himself on how to live a virtuous and meaningful life. In its pages, we find Marcus grappling with themes that are as relevant today as they were centuries ago, dealing with loss and disappointment, navigating challenging relationships, and finding peace amidst the chaos of daily life. He reminds himself to focus on what he can control, his own thoughts and actions, and to accept with serenity the things he cannot, recognizing that true happiness comes from within. Section 3. Mastering emotions amidst chaos. One of the most striking aspects of Marcus Aurelius's life and writings is his unwavering commitment to Stoic principles, even in the face of immense pressure and adversity. Imagine being at the helm of a vast empire, facing constant threats from barbarian invasions and internal conflicts, all while dealing with personal tragedies and health problems. Yet, Throughout these challenges, Marcus Aurelius remained a beacon of calm and reason, guided by the Stoic belief that our emotions are not determined by external events, but by our own judgments and interpretations. He understood that by controlling his thoughts, he could control his emotional responses, even in the most trying circumstances. Section 1. The power of perspective. Imagine this. You're rushing to work, already running late, and you spill coffee all over your shirt. A typical reaction might involve frustration, anger, even despair at the state of your morning. But what if, instead of letting these negative emotions hijack your day, you paused and viewed the situation through a Stoic lens? Stoicism reminds us that events themselves are neutral. It's our judgments and interpretations that color them with emotion. Instead of seeing the spilled coffee as a catastrophe, you might choose to view it as an opportunity for a quick cleanup and a reminder to slow down. This shift in perspective might seem small, but its impact on your emotional state can be profound. Life is full of minor inconveniences, unexpected obstacles, and moments that test our patience. A delayed flight, a traffic jam, a disagreement with a colleague. These everyday occurrences can easily derail our mood and leave us feeling stressed and frustrated. Stoicism offers practical tools for navigating these challenges with greater grace and resilience. The Stoic practice of negative visualization might seem counterintuitive, but it can be surprisingly effective. Take a moment each day to contemplate the things you're grateful for and then imagine losing them. This exercise, while potentially uncomfortable, can help you appreciate what you have and develop a greater sense of perspective when faced with challenges. Resilience, the ability to bounce back from adversity, is not something we're born with. It's a skill that can be cultivated through practice and mindful effort. Stoicism provides a framework for building inner resilience by teaching us to focus on what we can control, our thoughts, our actions, our responses, and to accept with equanimity the things we cannot. When faced with a difficult situation, instead of dwelling on the unfairness of it all or wishing things were different, ask yourself, what can I learn from this experience? How can I use this challenge as an opportunity for growth? By reframing setbacks as opportunities for learning and development, we can transform adversity into fuel for personal growth. Embracing Stoicism isn't about adopting a rigid set of rules or becoming an emotionless robot. It's about cultivating a mindset, a way of approaching life's inevitable ups and downs with wisdom, courage, and a deep sense of inner peace. It's about recognizing that true happiness and fulfillment come not from external circumstances, but from within ourselves. The Stoic mindset is a work in progress, a lifelong journey of self-discovery and growth. It's about striving to live in accordance with our values, to treat others with kindness and compassion, and to face each day with a sense of purpose and intention. It's about finding strength in adversity, meaning in the mundane, and joy in the simple act of living. As we've explored in this journey through the tenets of Stoicism, this ancient philosophy offers not just a set of beliefs, but a practical guide to navigating the complexities of life with greater resilience, purpose, and inner peace. It reminds us that true happiness doesn't depend on external circumstances, which are ever-changing and often beyond our control, but rather on our own internal state, our thoughts, our reactions, and our choices. By embracing the Stoic principles of focusing on what we can control, accepting what we cannot, and striving to live virtuously in accordance with nature, we empower ourselves to face life's inevitable challenges with courage, clarity, and a deep sense of inner strength. Stoicism doesn't promise an easy life, but it equips us with the tools to transform adversity into opportunity, to find meaning in the mundane, and to live each day with intention and purpose. So, as you go about your day, remember the wisdom of the Stoics. Embrace the power of perspective, practice the art of acceptance, and cultivate the virtues of wisdom, justice, courage, and temperance. The path of Stoicism is a journey of self-discovery and growth, a lifelong pursuit of living in harmony with ourselves, with others, and with the universe itself.